That's what happened. So we put the money up. I probably it made one payment. The payment stopped. And, and this is right around COVID time. Right around COVID. Payment stopped. We don't know what's going on. And mind you, I also had some treasury bills, but the treasury bills were in Ghana money. Now, those are a little different. Anything in the Ghana currency was fine, was safe, because they could just print some fucking money,
Yeah.
The reason why I didn't choose to do that amount of money in the Ghana currency was because their money goes up and down.
Right. The euro is much more stable.
The euro is, the dollar.
Similar to the dollar.
Exactly.
Right.
They're stable. So, in fact, when I did the euro bonds, our dollar was 6 cedis. Cedis is the name of Ghana's money.
Mm-hmm.
A dollar was 6 cedis. Right now, a dollar is 15 cedis. So even the treasury that I opened up that it matured 3 years later, I lost.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, a lot of people were enticed by this euro bonds because your money stays in the dollar currency. They stopped making payments, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I spoke to the lady at the bank. She said, they're just having a little issue. The government, they're in debt. They borrowed money from China, COVID, bunch of excuses, which is excuses to me.
They use your money to pay back their Chinese debt.
Yeah, they use my money to pay China.
That's crazy.
Crazy, unheard of.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I have a bigger voice, but it's probably hundreds of thousands of other people that invested their money.
Yeah.
And then, so I said, okay. But then I was, I spoke to one guy that worked for that particular regime. And I apologize for blaming my problem on Ghana. Ghana is not the problem. It's usually it's people that are in office are the problem. So the particular Ministry of Finance from the NPP regime, we have Democrat here and Republican. Here in Ghana, they have the big ones are NPP and NDC.
Mm-hmm.
So at that particular time, NPP was in office. So they are the one to be blamed for it, not Ghana. Ghana is a great country with great people. I apologize to my Ghana for what I said, but I'm taking.
So hello and welcome back to another remarkable episode on the Black Sea Tonight Africa Rising channel. If today is your first time, please kindly subscribe and share this video. Like it to let your guardians pick up and share it to people like you that are also thinking the same way that Michael Blankson and myself, we are thinking today. So the video you just watched was picked from Vladtv. It's an interview with Ghana-American comedian Michael Blankson, who was born as Kojo Edum Bediakon. He's lived in Ghana, lived in Liberia, lived in New Jersey in the state, and I think at some point he was living in Pennsylvania or something. I think currently he's living in Maryland or Delaware, one of those places. But he's been in and out of Ghana several times. He's currently investing, or he has invested, I would say, in a school, Michael Blankson's complex or something, academy. Yeah, it's a school that he's trying to groom young kids. And I think either it's a very reduced tuition fee or free of charge. And some part of last year, he was in the news with Ghana's government, and it wasn't pleasant. What was trending in the news, it wasn't really pleasant, I would say that. So it started from Michael Blankson taking on to Twitter and tweeting about the Ghana government and Ghana as a whole, ripping him off of his investment. And well, at that point, rightly so, you could say, oh yeah, we told you guys don't go to Africa. Africa is going to rip you guys off because they think we're different and all that. And for me, somebody who has been talking about Africa's greatness and the need for the diasporans to, return home and all, it sort of dawned on me. Like, at some point I was feeling like, no, maybe we have to rethink this again. Like, it was so negative for me, and it made me sort of tone down on some of these preaching for a while, because the tons of money that this guy said he had invested. And even in the video, if you listen to the full interview on Vladtv, you realize that the money was millions of dollars. Because even if he says 37% of it will be about $400,000. Then that should tell you that it was more than $1 million, right? You're looking about 1.3 or 1.4 million dollars as an investment, right? So to me, I felt it that how does somebody listen to some of the messages that we are preaching, come back home, invest, build a whole school for your country, and you still end up doing him this bad? And so it was a bad image for Ghana, bad image for Africa, and investment as a whole on the continent. And so for somebody like me, I really didn't take it easy, and I wanted to find out what was going on. And it turns out that this is what happened. Ghana government, and sadly enough, the party that is speaking about, the NPP government, is a party that I affiliate with, right? And it turns out that they took more loans on top of the loans that the previous government had taken. And now COVID came, and they had to shuffle some of the loans money and all that, some of them here, the money that was meant to pay for some of the loans that were due to countries like China and other European countries, and the euro bonds that they had set and all. They had to use some for emergency situations. Only God knows the details about those emergency situations and the things that money was used for. Only God knows. And I repeat that. Only God. Because Ghanaians are telling us they really didn't see nothing. So now when some of the loans were matured for them to pay, there was no money. And I'm telling you, no money. Absolutely nothing to pay those loans. So what they did was they had to tell some of the bondholders, the real bond holders, that okay, so we agreed with you to pay you 9% within 3 and 4 years of your bonds, but man, we have to take you guys are gonna have to take a haircut. Haircut means you are not even going to get the amount that you initially invested. You know, bonds are some of the safest investment that you could do, because it never goes wrong, because it's for the government, and the government, whether they have money or not, they can always borrow, so they will always get your money back. But this time around, Ghana says no, we cannot go and borrow again to come and pay you, and our debtors are also collecting their money. So let's use the bonds that we took. We are going to take some part of your money, the original monies. We are going to take about 37% of it. You're going to lose it, so that we use it to pay some of the loans, like those in China that are due. And then we spread your loans for you. So at the end, instead of 3 to 4 years, some of you are going to get it like 11 years, and some of you are going to get it 15 years. And then the bottom line is you are going to lose money out of the investment that you thought was safe. And Michael Blankson was not having it, especially investing millions. And the point that he says it really pained him was the fact that he was using the interest or some of the monies that were coming from this investment to fund the school, which I do think, if you look at the school standard, it should be like a school that people should really pay high fees, but it's been fairly subsidized to the point that a lot of them even attend for free, I do think and believe. So he was using some of these to fund it. And the fact that he couldn't stand it to bring another money from America to fund that school that he's doing for the country for free was something that even not me would think about it. And that was so frustrating for him, to the point that now he had to link up. You know, the point of the politicians, they don't even see your misery. They always want to find a way to also get their cut. So somebody from the government, I didn't mention the name, but I think I know. The name begins with O. I will say the rest. Ghanaians know. Oh, Ghanaians know what I mean. I think from the description he gave, it looks like him. Perfect. Him. Oh, he also has a gut. Anyway, I think it's him. That guy is always roaming around. He's like a snake, roaming around trying to find where he can get a cut back and all that. He reached out to me and said, "Oh, you know, it's my cousin. That's the president. I can, you know, move his hand to move the hand of the governor of the Bank of Ghana or the finance minister and get your money back. But mind you, I'm taking 10%. So imagine if it was like, let's say you invested $1.3 million. That's $130,000 for just speaking to the uncle, whoever it is, to get your money back. Yeah, that's it. And so he wasn't having it. And getting to the point that the party realized that they were losing power, they were going to lose. They brought that option of losing some 37%. And so he said the deal that they gave him was that he could take the loan that was supposed to, the bond that was supposed to get, he was supposed to get his principal back at the end of 3 or 4 years. was going to be 11 years, and they were going to take, I think, 37% off, and instead of 9%, he was going to get 5%. Or if he wanted, they could spread it to 15 years. He was going to get the exact amount he invested. By this time around, the interest will be 1.5%, and it will be spread for 15 years. Imagine. That would be money wasted. I think that would be money wasted. That was something he couldn't take it. In fact, if you invested that amount here in America, you get more than that in 15 years. Yeah. So it looked like so he was very frustrated. He took to Twitter, said a whole lot of things about Ghana as a country. But the good news is that he has come back to, I would say, apologize to Ghanaians, and then now he's taking on the government or the actual people that were involved. And that is my point that I'm reacting today. That you see, those diasporans that are trying to come, things that are related to the government and things, don't, and it goes to every African country that you go. Don't associate yourself with anything that has to do with the government in Africa. Where government are stable in the Western world, in Africa, that's the most unstable institution or entity that you want to affiliate with. Take yourself from any partisan thing. You're private and do your own private thing. You can never go wrong. So please, don't take Michael Blankson's initial post and say, I'm no more coming to Africa. We still need you. We need those investments. We need you to help us make employment for our people. Come, but try to do things on your own. Yeah, it's good if you have some form of connection and all that, but don't try to let money be involved, especially when it's huge. Bonds, treasury bills and all. Yeah, you will help our government by loaning it to them, but those things can now go wrong. So please take a lesson from it. And Michael Blankson, I think I appreciate you for now coming back to, clear the name for Ghana as a whole and taking on the exact people that were involved. I like that, even though it goes against my party, but what can I do? As long as it's good for Africa, it's good for everyone. Once again, my name is Ben Cassie. If you're new to this channel, you can subscribe. Join us. Let's go. I wish we could get 5,000 by the end of this month. All right, subscribers. Let's push this video, share it to your friend, let other people subscribe, and let's make Africa great again. If you like my attire, just comment it in the comment section and I'll show you who I made it. This is straight from Ghana, the African culture. For the culture, man. For the culture. For the culture, man. For the culture. I'll see you when I see you.